Hi everybody. Okay, so today I thought I'd go back to the theme, I guess, of yesterday's broadcast when I was talking about the idea that we had an asset class, a new asset class, and NVIDIA represented that new asset class. My question was, who else is in there beside NVIDIA? Because it seemed to me that we had a bit of a lonely, lonely little soldier here in NVIDIA. But there are other companies, and what have we got? Well, let's say we're talking about Intel and AMD. If we're talking about Intel, that's a little different, I think, in that it seems to be the case that Intel is trying to put its foundries into situations in the USA, whereas that doesn't seem to be the case with NVIDIA. They are a fabless, to go back to some of the terms I've been talking about, a fabless outfit. They don't have their foundry in the USA. They have all of their planning, their design, and their marketing in the USA, and their foundries are found in Taiwan and elsewhere. So the others in the asset class are quite distinct. They're not the same exactly as NVIDIA, but they are there nonetheless in terms of the chip market. Okay, so we have AMD, we've got Intel, we've got NVIDIA, we've probably got other people too. It's still a very small, I think, a very small number of outfits involved, which I think is interesting when people, not me, other people say that what we're talking about here is a distinct asset class. I think it's a distinct situation, and I've talked about the means of production and control of the means of production through chips and the idea of, I've used various ideas. I've used the idea of a wharf, where if you control the chip, you control a lot of other things in a market, just like a wharf is critical in terms of the control of a market if everything depends on imports. And I think particularly during COVID, that wharf idea is a good analogy. Okay, so we also have the distinction that I've drawn between hardware and software. I didn't draw the distinction, obviously, but what I'm saying is that we have Microsoft being the key player in the software area, NVIDIA perhaps being the key player in the hardware area. And again, that's not my idea, that's an idea that I've been looking at. But I wonder what we do with the idea of sets of asset classes. And I brought this up last time because I was trying to say, okay, so let's assume that the suggestion that the NVIDIA context is an asset class. How does it stand with relation to other asset classes? And we might well just start with software and hardware and software, and the distinction between Microsoft and as a software operator and NVIDIA as a hardware operator, I think is probably a worthwhile line to walk. So I just wanted to leave it with those. I didn't want to overload things with too many terms. Take those terms fab and fabless. We've obviously got a situation with NVIDIA where it's fabless, and Intel, as I've said earlier, it does work to the fab model with its own foundries. The situation with foundries is still something that really fascinates me, just because of the sheer cost of the things, and also the amount of laws, regulations, and so forth in the context. And I've tried to talk about that as I've tried to explain why Taiwan might be able to offer a better context for foundries than the USA. That applies to today's talk, because I've said that Intel is developing foundries in the USA. How well are those foundries going to go? And I'll leave it at that, because I think with Texas Instruments being the other combined outfit, combining software, hardware, foundries, and the design area, I think we've got a situation also in the context of the legislation to do with chips that came through that's come through this year in the USA, trying to encourage that type of thing. will it work? I'll leave it there today. And also we'll be talking about coming back to the comparison that I was making the other day with NVIDIA and Amazon. We'll be coming to that as we go forward.